You know, for a community that is supposedly working towards a common goal together as one, I have never seen such division in my life with anything, any group or community that I have been a part of. But can we please at least agree on this one thing? And that is that our stock is not correlated to the market at all. Today was a perfect example. Morning opening, bell opening this morning, stocks took a nosedive, obviously because of the increasing and now very real tensions in the Ukraine, with Russia officially invading the Ukraine. Well, the market, the broad markets as a whole, the Dow, the S&P 500, they all took a shit kicking, opened up very much in the red. But what did our stock do? It opened up green, and it had a pretty strong day. Yes, the broad market did recover in later day trading in the session, but our stock opened green and was green in the morning while everything else was red. So I failed to mention, I'll link to the video right here. I did fail to mention, I'm already getting some heat on that video, some hate. It's all good. I got a thick skin, baby. Bring it on. I can take it. I'm a big boy. But I got some heat in that video because I did fail and forget to mention, which I'm going to mention right now, and that is that these stocks, even though they have been claimed in the past by some pretty big YouTubers, Super Chat Matt, bro, how's those couple $100,000 you extracted from the community treating you, bud? He's one that has said this a lot, and that is that, oh guys, AMC's down today. It's down today because the whole market is. Guess what? It's not correlated to the market. In fact, its beta is it's 1.5, roughly 1.5. The beta is, if it was exactly correlated to the market, it would have a beta of 1. For those of you that don't know what beta is, look it up. It's basically how a stock trades in relation to the broad market. So some of these guys, Super Chat Matt being one of them, always had this excuse that, hey guys, it's red today, kind of the market is as well. It's not correlated. Our play is a completely different animal. It's a completely different beast, and it does not trade in correlation to the stock market. And this is a very common problem with investors, and it's not their fault. It's how the human mind works. If you've been on this channel, if you're hanging out this channel, you know I love psychology stuff, even though I'm not a psychologist, but I love psychology. I love behavioral finance. I love behavioral economics and the study of it. And there's a thing called pattern matching. The human brain, because there is a lot of senses and sensory overload potentially coming into our brains, and if it did not know how to take care of and react to all this sensory that was happening, our brain would literally blow up. Like, not literally, I shouldn't say that, but it would be pretty close, because it would get completely overwhelmed and it wouldn't know what to do. So one of the tricks that our human brain has in order to lessen the load on us, it's called pattern matching. Our brain looks for patterns. It's the reason why when you drive down the road, even though you're going 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, whatever you're traveling, which is quite dangerous, it's quite fast, you can do it with relative ease and very little work, because your brain is constantly scanning its environment. It's looking for patterns, and it's saying, hey, you know what? No, I know this. This is all good. I've done this before, because our brains are basically the reptilian brains. We're living on new hardware, but our software is still that old reptilian crocodile brain from the caveman days. So pattern matching is one of those things where we look for patterns, and as long as the brain doesn't see a threat, it's like, okay, everything's all systems go, baby. It's all normal. So that happens a lot in the markets and in stocks. The brain is looking for patterns, and every time it sees a pattern, it thinks, this is a pattern. This is a correlation. It's so insane that there was I don't know if it was a trader or a hedge fund. This is how insane pattern matching gets. There was a trader or hedge fund, can't remember, that thought they had found a pattern of the S&P 500 trading in direct correlation to the price of butter in Bangladesh. Think how fucking insane that is, okay? But that's just us, right? Humans are competitive. We're always looking for an advantage. So they thought that they found a pattern there. It was complete bogus. It just looked like a pattern, but completely unnecessary. So that's what I'm trying to say, is basically things look like a pattern in the market until they aren't. There really is a lot of things are random actually in the market. And our little stock here, I think it was proven this morning that it does not trade in direct correlation to the market. Now, this is another thing I failed to mention in that other video, because the very interesting thing that I did see this morning is not only was AMC up, but it was also GME. So I know in that video, I made the call that, hey, this MOASS has not started. It was just buying pressure from our camp. maybe I was wrong in saying that. I mean, I'm a man. I own it. I'm always preaching extreme ownership, right? If I'm wrong, I will absolutely own it. Maybe I was wrong in saying that because I did forget to mention that. I noticed that. I noticed our play and some others were green today. So maybe there was some shorts covering today as a result of this war starting and it potentially being the trigger for the MOASS. I don't know, guys. Like, honestly, I'm not a fucking expert here. Like, I have a lot of experience, but I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Take everything that everybody says with a grain of salt. Always do your own due diligence and your own research. That's all we got. We're done. Peace.